What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another update with you guys. A little bit to get through today. But actually, let's start off with the actual...
1 minute. It's Ben's birthday. Everyone in the comments, everyone watching the video, go and wish Ben a very happy birthday. We're going to be a Premier League team next season, and we can all be happy on days like today.
Yeah, to be honest, as the years grow older, the birthdays get less significant, or you don't want the birthdays to come around that often because you're getting older and older and older. But no, thank you very much. Thank you very much. And big up to you lot in the chat. But sorry to bring the mood down today, but there's been a horrific incident with Christian Eriksen. He's collapsed on the pitch for Denmark. They've abandoned the game. It's just not great. He did walk off, and the manager says that he's in a conscious state and he's not too bad under the circumstances. But we just want to wish Christian Eriksen a speedy recovery. The manager, Morten Boesen, did a statement after the game saying Christian is doing well and walked off the pitch by himself. As I see it, the pacemaker responded as it should. He was briefly unconscious, but regained consciousness very quickly, and we were quickly in contact with him. He will now undergo further examination at the hospital to determine what caused the incident. We are in ongoing contact with him and the doctors at the hospital, but Christian is doing well, and he asked me to send his regards to all the players and tell them he was okay. So, obviously terrible news, but good news that he's doing well.
Yeah, and obviously it brings back memories of Euro. What was it in Euros 2021, and that incident where his obviously heart briefly stopped, and thankfully he was able to pull through and continue playing even after that. But yeah, it's horrible. It's horrible news, horrible to see, and we obviously all wish Christian the best, and we'll see what happens, what this means for him and the future of his career later down the line. But that's not important right now. The most important thing that he's all right. It didn't affect him, as much as it could have, and it's just he was such someone we all remember so fondly at Tottenham, and to see him going through what he's been going through over the last few years it's just been horrible. But yeah, thankfully he's okay.
Yeah. But moving on from that, after everyone, just send your wishes to Christian Eriksen in the comment section below. Let's talk about Paul van Hecke, as there's been an update regarding him. Brighton CEO Paul Barber has come out and spoken on Talk Sport, and he's saying that there's always going to be a lot of interest in our best players, and certainly that's the case with Paul. We've been very clear that the interest has been ongoing for a while, and it's coming from multiple sources. We have rejected a bid from Tottenham over the last week or so. In fact, 2 bids. Barber warned Tottenham that the finances of the deal has to be right for both the club and the player to get the deal done. So yeah, I assume from that obviously the second bid now has been rejected. We put in a bid of 40 million last week, and then we upped the bid over the weekend, and now that has seemingly been rejected. I assume the bid's gone up to 45 million or something, and they're looking for that 50 million figure. But you got to hope that that's going to be met.
Yeah, and they've been pretty kind of adamant since the start. 50 million. That's what the kind of reports have been saying. We know Brighton. They're not shy about sticking to a fee. Put it that way. They can be pretty stubborn at times. We saw even when I think Caicedo, the bids went up to like 80, 90. They're like, no, either you bid 110 or whatever it was, what they told him for the end. Or in the same with Cucurella, I remember that there was a bit of a negotiation there, and they were like, look, unless you bid 65, we're not going to accept. So even though he's got 1 year left on the deal, they know there's maybe other interested parties. They're not worried about kind of holding out. So, yeah. I think I, for one, would be in favour of just meeting the deal. If De Zerbi's been pretty adamant that he wants him, he's the player he knows well. Clearly, he's been one of the first players that De Zerbi's like, look, I think we should bring him in. We need him. So if it means getting him through the door and getting ahead of the competition and spending that extra few million, I think we should be doing it. It is obviously a bit expensive considering you are paying for a player with 1 year left on his deal. But I think it'll probably long term be worth it. And it's not something you're going to look back on thinking, we paid 5 extra million more than we should have, because you get the player over the line. That's the most important thing. So I think this one will get done. I don't know if we'll pay the 50. Maybe it'll be 45 plus add-ons or something. We'll get close to it. I'm sure there'll be a bit of a middle ground. But yeah, I reckon this deal will get done.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting that he's saying, you know, there's other parties involved and there's been, you know, multiple clubs interested in Van Hecke. I don't know if there's been multiple bids from other parties, but SZY does state that there's no active competition for either Van Hecke or Savinho. So he's claiming maybe there hasn't been any bids from anyone but Tottenham as of yet. But, you know, Brighton know as well that the transfer window is not even open. You know, there's a long summer ahead where other teams can come into play and everything like that. So I think on that aspect, if De Zerbi knows and the Spurs, you know, backroom staff know that this is the deal that they want and this is the centre-back to take us forward to replace Cuti Romero, just pay the money and get it done, because as this rumbles on, more teams will get involved. You know, we know Chelsea, Liverpool, these kind of teams all looking for a centre back. If Van Hecke is open to joining us, which looks like he is, and they're sticking to that fee and we're very close to that fee, just pay the money. It's not that much more.
Exactly. I think it goes both ways for Brian's point of view in terms of the longer the window goes on, obviously more people can get involved, but as well, the longer the deal doesn't get done and the closer you get to that end of the window and you haven't got a deal done, you might have to lower your price at some point if the deal hasn't been completed, and you run the risk of Van Hecke going into his last year and the price dropping a lot. So obviously, I don't think they're going to be shortage of offers, but I'm just saying if they don't agree, if they get their asking price now, there's no real need to wait.
Absolutely. Look, let's move on and let's talk about Savinho. SZY claiming that the fee for Savinho is basically agreed now. They're just sorting out the add-ons. And again, just reaffirming that there's no other active competition for Savinho. Tottenham are the only team in for him. So it looks as though this deal is nearing completion.
Yeah, we're hearing that day by day, aren't we? Which I remember last year.
Creeping closer day by day.
I remember we heard last year when it came to Eze, I was kind of getting a bit itchy fingers. Like, what's going on here? Like, every day we're hearing is there was a new word for how close it was, and obviously we ended up getting gazumped, embarrassingly so. But I think this is a different kind of a deal. Obviously, I think it's a different circumstance. I am still very confident Savinho is going to be a Tottenham player. I just hope. Look, I don't know. I don't really care when it happens. I'm just. I'm getting a bit worried that things we're hearing every day that, oh, it's so close, it's on the cusp, you know, but we haven't got those three beautiful words from Romano. We haven't even got an Ornstein update yet about how imminent the deal is. So until that happens, you're gonna have to wait. You know, you can't say it's done. So as much as I'm confident it's going in the right direction, we need one of those big hitters to do an update for me.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but SZY has been bang on the money all the way through, so there's no reason not to believe him at this moment in time. He's been ahead of all these big journalists at times.
Yeah, it's true. And look, Savinho is a player that we've been after for a while. This is a long-standing interest. This is someone that we nearly got last summer. Savinho looks like he wants to come here, so I think it does all point in the right direction. But the confidence does come from pretty much mostly ITKs. That is the truth. So you have to be just a little bit, you know, just be a little bit careful with how confident how close it is. Put it that way.
It's true. Although Romano has updated us all the way through, saying Tottenham and Savinho locked in conversation. Savinho wants to move. And he has said there's a willingness on all parties to get this done. So yeah. I do think
he hasn't said agreed deal. He hasn't said agreed deal yet.
Yeah, 100%. Here We Go is coming this week. I can feel it. It's tingling, man.
You said that last week.
It's coming this week. And last but not least, there's been an update from Gianluca Longari on Vuskovic. And he says that Vuskovic would be open to leaving Tottenham this summer. Bayern Munich and other top Premier League clubs are closely monitoring him with interest and have made initial contact for details on a possible move just at the preliminary stages. I mean, that doesn't sound good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I'm Vuskovic, I would be open to a move as well. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying I would probably be open to it if we're signing Van Hecke. We've got Senesi in. The Van der Ven's obviously, hopefully, going to be there for a long time. You're probably looking at the situation thinking, look, if they're, I'm not. I don't think he's. I doubt he's in a rush to go anywhere. Again, he's 19. He's got his whole career ahead of him. And if Tottenham just want to send him on a good loan for another year, I don't think he's going to be like, oh, that's unacceptable. But if there's a bid that's acceptable to Tottenham and from a big club and they're promising game time, I'll probably also be open to a move of
No bid
Vuskovic as
should be
well.
acceptable
Your audio just before.
for what he can bring in. You know, no bid should be acceptable right now for Luka Vuskovic. He should be untouchable at Tottenham.
I mean, yeah, I agree. But on the flip side, if we get an outrageous bid of like, 70, 80 million for a player who's never played a game for you, I mean, you can't say it's bad business.
Yeah, it's not, but you know, you're talking about a generational talent here that's smashing it everywhere. Look, we've been through everything there is to go through with Luka Vuskovic. I wouldn't want to sell him for any money because that's how much I believe in his talents, and I think that's how much Spurs believe in his talents. But it's all about where the manager feels he can fit in. That's the reality at the end of the day. And if we're planning to move forward and bring in another centre back like Van Hecke, you start to think, where is the actual pathway for him? So if maybe the best course of action is to go get that 80, 90 million, if you can get that in for Luka Vuskovic. As much as it will hurt me, as much as it will hurt many Spurs fans to have a talent like that and getting excited all year, watching him in the Bundesliga, finishing in the top 3 spaces, team of the year and everything like that, and never see him in a Spurs shirt. If there are no plans for that pathway, then maybe it is the best thing to sell him.
Yeah, I just think for me, the best course of action, you send him on loan. You send him on loan to a team that's going to play a bit more aggressively, a bit more front-footed, see how he copes. And if he smashes out again and he shows you, yeah, this guy could even play in a team that's front-footed and attacking and plays a bit of a high line and he doesn't have as many problems as well. If he shows that, then he's ready to come back to it. Then we bring him back in next summer. And I think it's always good to have someone like Vuskovic around because it just kind of means as well, if he's ready, I think it's good to keep him around because it also means you're not beholden to players asking to leave and stuff like that. If Van der Ven, let's say next summer wants to leave, you go, okay, you can leave. We'll find someone because you've got Vuskovic. Succession planning. That's always a beneficial thing. If you sell him now, then you're still pretty much putting a lot of eggs in the basket of the defenders you got. So I would loan him. I wouldn't sell him unless it's really outrageous. And that's the best course of action. But of course, I think if I'm Vuskovic, I don't think he rejects a move to Barca or Bayern if it's on the table for him and Tottenham are willing to let him go. I don't think he's like, no, I'm not going to go. Of course, he's going to be open to it.
True. But look, that is all we have for you today. We'll see you all back in the studio tomorrow. It's World Cup week, people. The World Cup kicks off this coming week as well. Thank you for the birthday message, and we shall see you all very, very soon. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.